It's 6 o'clock in the evening, and the festival officially ended an hour ago. So, of course, I've got work to do. Unlike most of these people, I have to finish some paintings. But here's the scene that I'm painting, roughly that right there, except full of people, of course. So once again, I'm in downtown Wilson, North Carolina. I've been coming to this festival for the last 12 years. Every year I've been here. They treat me like a hero. It's quite the embarrassing and delightful situation. One of the things, I'm doing 3 paintings on this canvas. One is of their new whirligig park, and that's sort of what a whirligig park looks like. And then this is a painting of the street that I just showed you. And tomorrow I'll do this section down here, which will be the kids zone. So if you want to watch me for a little while, I am going to paint the painting up there, the street scene. And I need a little bit more light, so let me give myself a little bit more light. Whoops, I've got one light unplugged. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on there. Strange that the same color is out on both sides. Well, I'm not going to worry about it because you guys are watching me, so I'm just going to have to try to paint without it. Let me take a second to put some acrylics away. I'm sorry, I should have done this before I started broadcasting. I, of course, do my underpainting in acrylics and oil on top, so when I'm doing 3 paintings all at the same time, all at different stages of development, it does get rather complicated. And I'm going to sit down as much as I can to spare my feet on this long weekend. But I don't know if I can sit down at all right now. Oh, and here I have 2 brushes with acrylics on them that need to be cleaned. Again, forgive me, I should have done this before I started broadcasting. Here we are, a little bit of real life. Now, of course, most of the reason I haven't broadcasted it earlier today is it was just too busy, too much noise, too much people, too much everything. So, but now that everybody's gone home, except me, I've got the whole place to myself, and I would be playing music, except then, of course, and then YouTube. Hello. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I saw you when you first started, because that was on.
That's nice. I see that. You're wearing the shirt. Very cool.
I thought I looked cool.
Thank you. Well, I'm getting working late. I hope to finish this one tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe. At least I'm getting closer, I should say.
Tomorrow I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait till it's done.
Yeah.
For sure. Very good.
Well,
Thanks.
I'll see you tomorrow then.
Good. Yeah. Okay, I'm down to the next to the last, or maybe third from the last phase of my painting process, which again, if you've been following me, is this new fuzzy layer. Translucent, local color, soft edges, glow layer. All those words describe essentially what I hope to do in this layer. Boy, it really is bothering me that I have a light out. Because the lights are color coded. Not color coded. They're color like theater gel lighting. Color balance that's the word I'm looking for. And I have a color missing. the show must go on. So this is, as I said, will be my fuzzy layer. So I'm mixing up, of course, mixing up opaque color, but I'm going to apply it very thinly, so the effect is translucent, soft edges. One of the biggest advantages of this, or benefits of this layer, of course, is it's a slam dunk for easy way to accomplish atmospheric perspective. Do some sky holes soft. I'll come back and do some harder edged sky holes later on. But right now, I'll just get some soft ones in place. Hello, guys and girls. Yes, sir. Like here for this, or just like doing one somewhere else? You're at the store. A couple thousand, 25, maybe. Depends how big it is. I could do one this big for 22,000 or 25. More for larger. And those of you who are listening, that price does not go for you guys. That is a special Wilson, North Carolina price. Being a little bit in touch with the local economy. If you want a mural for that much, call me. We'll talk. Okay, again, soft edges, and glow, anything that glows. So another way to put that is anything that's bright light in color, that you want, if you want it to look like it's really bright, then you better put some fuzz on it. You better put some soft edges on it. Otherwise, it'll just look light, but it won't look like it's bright in the painting. It just look like light-colored paint stuck on your canvas. If you want something to look like it's glowing, you better put some fuzz on it. Got that? Not everybody knows that for some reason. A little-known secret. It shouldn't be a secret at all. So I'm definitely going to do that down here in these light area, in the focal point highlight areas where I have the largest area of contrast. So like these canopies, these tent canopies, of course, that are ubiquitous at festivals. That's what makes it look like a festival. It's got all these white canopies. And I want them to be glowing. Means soft edges. Glowing is not about how much titanium white you put in the color to make it bright light white bright. Glowing is about how much fuzz you put on it. And that should be a lesson to somebody. I hope somebody who's listening, I hope somebody who needs to hear that is listening. Watching. Okay, if you want something to look like it's glowing or bright, you better put some soft edges on it. Same thing in landscape, same thing in still life, same thing in portraiture. So all of these tents, yeah, I want them to look like they're catching a lot of. Therefore, my glow layer. The main thing I want some glow to happen is kind of right in the middle of this, where the sun is coming between the people. I'm making this I think you can tell, I'm making it a morning sunlight painting, even though this morning there was virtually no sunlight. It was a very overcast morning. So I make all this light, all the light effects that I'm painting are completely made up and invented here. Light in the sky. Mixed up a little yellow ochre. Yellow ochre is probably my go-to color my go-to paint when I want to when I want to warm up my white. When I want to warm white, I don't use yellow or orange. I use yellow ochre. Well, I've got some yellow ochre going. I'm going to put some glow on that. The one tent that is yellow. Good. Right here. So this is. Okay, see that? I'm assuming you can see that.
With us, but they said you're staying too long.
Yeah, sorry. My work's not done. Now, let me do some of the glow in between these people. Adjusting my lighting a little bit. Okay, glow in between those people. So, did they really? Good for them. Wow.
Well, she said she didn't bring as much.
No, oh yeah.
She said she didn't bring as many as she normally does because this is their last festival until January.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm trying to mix up a warm yellow orange.
Festival in Raleigh. They do the international festival.
Oh, no kidding. Huh. Okay, so some sunlight glow happening in here. I think it's probably a little unusual for me to do this fuzz as a separate step, and maybe someday I won't do it this way. I'm always evolving, always playing around, always testing, always pushing the boundary a little bit. That's how you learn new things, is try something different, But it can't be so different that it's unrelated to what you already do, or it's too far outside your norm. Anyway, so I think it's probably unusual, as I was saying. to do a distinct fuzz level, that's completely separate from the layer before it and the layer after. And actually, I need to step down and look at this and see if it's really doing what I want it to do. It really is an advantage to be able to not to be able. It's an advantage to force yourself to paint with two hands a lot of times when you're doing stuff, because you're always tempted to slow down and get careful. At least I think most people are. Most of us, right? Most painters say, I'm tight, I'd like to be loose. And I'm certainly in that category. Most of what I'm doing is a compensation, or, to achieve looseness. You see me doing the stuff doing hands. Okay, I tell you what. Maybe I'll keep talking. Let me try to describe to you what it is I'm looking for at this moment in my painting. I'm looking for composition. A little bit, you might think it's late to start thinking about composition, but it really isn't. Let me tell you why. Because I'm close, I just need to make sure it works. Okay, I'm going to look at the screen. I need my mid-tone areas to overlap or touch. And right now, I don't think they're doing that. So hang on. Stay right there. I'm looking for a clean rag. I have a lot of rags here. I don't know if I want a fuzzy rag or, terry cloth or a cotton. I think I want all my midtones to be either touch. Oh, I just put my hand right in, not only my hand, but my rag that I was going to use, right in my wet paint. So I'm actually removing some stuff. Whoa, I'm removing 2 layers there. That's interesting. Whoa, that is interesting. I didn't mean to remove 2 areas. 2 layers. Did not intend to remove 2 layers. So I took off some of the light stuff and some of the dark stuff underneath it. Not terrible. I really meant what I said. It's interesting, but I need to come back and some more darks in that area where I just wiped it out. Focal point right here. Secondary focal point here. There's going to be the highest contrast right in this area, but this is new language for me. Let me come back now. Faster get that in the last couple of minutes, haven't I? I don't want a polka dot effect. I don't want light polka dots and dark polka dots and mid-tone polka dots, which is sort of what I've got right now. It's clearly a tunnel or an X composition. X this way or tunnel this way. But not hanging together quite as well as I would like. But unfortunately, man, I do wish I hadn't wiped off that stuff. Let me take a long look before I just dive back into. I'm thinking. don't mind the foggy, misty stuff in the middle. As long as it comes out of the foggy mist in the right way, in the right places. Well, I've lost two. I'm gonna have to do some dark stuff, which means I'll be painting. Alla prima is the word. That means everything's wet. Alla prima means all at once. The inference is that all the paint on the canvas is wet. So you have to paint a little differently. It's a little soupier approach to painting than waiting for stuff to dry. And I had intentionally delayed coming back to this painting because I wanted it to be, the dark stuff to be more dry. So that's no longer the case because I'm applying dark. A couple things that need to be done. One is my tree has been trimmed back too much with all the, just whatever I've done to it, sky holes and different things. It's too spinny now, too sparse. So let me come in here with some more tree stuff. Big part of this scene and the beauty of this downtown Wilson is that it has this huge spreading oak tree right in the middle of downtown. Very characteristic. Anybody that knows Wilson would recognize the tree. So, roughly facsimile of the tree. The locals will recognize it. I'm putting this woman's head back. I think that's a woman. And this man's head back on. And then some people up here in the distance. Middle distance. A little bit dark stuff. The things that needs to happen in order for my focal point to be a focal point is I need to have some really dark areas adjacent to some light areas. That's sort of the definition almost of a focal point. Not a definition, it's one of the descriptions of a focal point is your lights and your darks, your lightest lights and darkest darks are adjacent to each other. So that's what I'm doing here, right in this area, getting these darks back in here. Couple figures that got wiped out a while ago. I am putting them back after all. I was debating whether I needed them, but I think I do. Okay, I'm going to stop that phase and go back to these smaller brushes. I should say shorter brushes, not smaller. And now I'm going to fuzz in some local color on the people. In fact, this is how I stumbled technique, this approach, was when I was painting at a festival last summer. Crowd, which means crowd full of people, of course, crowds of people. And I started fuzzing in color on the clothing color before I did my usual glow. Sorry, with equipment. I started fuzzing in clothing color before I did hard edge color. And I found that I liked it so much that it has become a permanent part of my process. So I just brought the photograph back up. And I'm going to start, as I said, fuzzing in some color on these people. Guy in blue, little girl wearing blue. Let's do a bunch of blue while we're at it. So we have to change our cleaner brushes so much. At this point in the process, I start trying to pay a little bit of attention to what people are actually wearing. Lots of blue jeans. It's fall here today. Lots of blue jeans. Lots of black slacks of one sort or another, I see in the photograph. Okay. Black and gray and blue. Dark tones, neutral tones mostly. I'll usually pump up the color in my paintings from what people are actually wearing just a little bit. Okay, that's blue. Let's go on the color wheel toward green. There actually are a couple people in this photograph actually wearing green. Not the most common color for people to wear, you might say. You don't generally, in a crowd of people, you don't see a lot of green, I don't think, normally. Okay, let's keep going around. The next should be yellow. You see even fewer people wearing yellow. Unless you're at a college game, or high school football, basketball game, and one of the school colors is yellow. Yeah, I'm going to skip yellow. I'm going to go to orange. You don't see many people wearing orange either. Nobody. One person maybe. And then I'll go to red. Yeah, I'll do a little tiny bit of orange. I like that color. I'm just putting it on random. Completely random. I like it. It looked good. Okay, but it's not clothing. Now let's go to red. Starting with a light orangish red, since that's what's on my brush. How many people wearing red? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not gonna do 5 people. I'm just counting out loud for your benefit. Okay, now darker red. Something like a cad red dark. But I don't have any cads on my palette as usual. I try to avoid those normally. I do occasionally, but I just try to make a mental note. Uh-oh. Whew. Okay, and then a tiny bit of purple. Oh. I've got a light with some bad electrical connection that Doug already tried to fix today. Pardon?
But if you put your pad on the post going up for the tent.
Okay. Later. Next time I do it, I will. Probably better not to touch it at all right now, right? A little bit of purple. Okay, I have one more. This is just a fuzzy color on people, so it's not the final say. Crowd of people is fuzzy, and I guess that's good enough. No, let me do a little bit of light colored on some of these people. If it was summertime, there'd be a lot of light and white. It's not, but there's still a little bit. So I'm going to do some yellow ochre and white. Okay, oh, I have to do this building up here. In much need of attention. So I'm mixing up some orange and white. Again, this is just to get the glow on this building. Soft edges, translucent, local color. And that's all I'm right. Soft edges, translucent, local color, glow. You could call it the fuzzy layer. Oh, and there's some stoplights here that need definitely need some glow around them. Let's start with a bright red. Tickle in eye. Oh, do we want red lights or green lights? Red. Okay. And then there's a street light. Either the street light is on or it's caught a reflection from the sun. I think it's more likely the latter. But it definitely needs some lightness in it. Here. And glow again. Not hard edge. I'll do that later. There's another street light, yeah, over here. I just find myself liking this orange this evening in particular, so just did a bunch of it. Okay, I think I'm ready. final layer. And sometimes at this point, I do more pencil, but I don't think I need pencil today. There's already quite a bit of pencil line showing. So I can go straight to my last layer, which is light, opaque highlight. So brighter than what I just did, more thick, more opaque than what I just did, and more hard edge than what I just did. And that will be the last layer. Where to start? Well, I think I'm going to start by stopping this broadcast. Thanks for watching. I need to think by myself for just a few minutes. And I might be back tonight later on. I don't know. Thanks for watching.